This video is brought to you by Captivating History. Most scholars around the world agree that the ancient Sumerians were the earliest developed civilization in our recorded history. They are the culture that gave us a lot of firsts: the first kingdom and then empire, the first city-states, the first democracy, the first autocracy. They pioneered writing, schooling, organized religion, lawmaking, art, and literature. Yes, the Sumerians were the first in many areas of expertise. Who were the Sumerians? The Sumerians were a civilization that started circa 6500 BC and ended around 4100 BC. This civilization would go on to influence the entirety of the ancient Middle East, and their accomplishments and innovations echo in diverse ancient cultures such as Egypt, Greece, Rome, Ethiopia, and more. From a practical, mundane standpoint, they were a highly religious, agricultural society that put great emphasis on art, culture, and the written word. As is the case with all cultures, they developed from simpler hunter-gatherer societies based on the Bronze Age sites scattered about the area that comprised ancient Sumer. They were an innovative, inventive, imaginative people, and interestingly enough, had parallels with even modern-day societies in both positive and negative aspects of their daily lives. Where did the Sumerians live? The area where the earliest civilization lived took up the territory of southern Mesopotamia, in parts of modern Iraq and Kuwait. It is nestled between two important rivers for the region, the Tigris and the Euphrates, as well as the Persian Gulf to the southeast. Their earliest countries were numerous city-states that, depending on the time period, either dominated the region, were enslaved by other cities or even other peoples, or acted independently. Rule. From their earliest days, the Sumerian city-states actually enjoyed a level of democracy not unlike the one we have today in the Western world. Most major government positions were elected rather than hereditary, and a council made important decisions regarding critical state matters. It was only during increasing warfare between the city-states, as well as clashes with the barbaric tribes from both the east and the west of Sumer, that the need for a single ruler arose, and this was when the king, or Lugal, big man in Sumerian, would take control. An ancient Sumerian had a vast array of professions to choose from. We should differentiate between two groups. The first includes the Sumerian upper classes, and the second includes their plebes. Depending on how you were born or what you did during your life in Sumer, you could jump between these two groups. Jobs and professions. The high-class Sumerians, for the most part, were either priests, scribes, members of royalty, or minor noblemen. In terms of craftsmen, we find a wide array of professions. There were sculptors, jewelers, lapidaries, carpenters, smiths, leather workers, fullers, basket makers, builders, etc. Based on the works of ancient Sumerian scribes, these were not sought-after professions, and most children and their parents with high aspirations were encouraged to pursue academic or theological professions. Sumerian technology and inventions. Vast and diverse areas of technology, including transportation, tools, war, hunting, agriculture, and brewing, have their origins in ancient Sumer. The wheel, the pickaxe, and the different types of land and water vessels are only the tip of the iceberg. The cuneiform script is by far the earliest writing system, and it was so influential that it became widespread throughout the ancient Middle East and was even in use until around the 1st century BC, a whole 5+ millennia after its invention. Mathematics was a major part of the Sumerian schooling system. They single-handedly birthed arithmetic and geometry, largely for practical uses like measurement and accountancy. I also need to mention the first use of the lunar solar calendar, later to be implemented in cultures both east and west of Mesopotamia. Sumerian foreign policy, relations with other nations. As is the case with modern-day nations, the Sumerians' relationship with their immediate neighbors was a complicated one. There was no shortage of bloody battles, coups, hostile takeovers, hostile liberations, submissions, and destructions. However, nearly all of these groups were influenced by the Sumerians in no small way. And considering how geographically distant they were from the prominent Sumerian city-states, that speaks volumes of just how influential the first civilization of the world really was. The religion and mythology of ancient Sumerians. Understanding this particular aspect of the ancient Sumerians is of vital importance to world culture in general. And no, this is not a statement made lightly. Most of what we see in the ancient myths of Sumer either directly or partially corresponds to numerous world myths. The hierarchy and behavior of gods, the creation of man, the Great Flood, the giants, the creation myths, all of these were present in Sumerian mythology first. The Sumerians envisioned the heavens as domes made of different precious stones. Whenever a Sumerian would die, according to mythology, they would go directly to Kur. An interesting concept that is almost unique to the Sumerians is that their underworld isn't necessarily the place of eternal darkness. As the sun sets and gives way to the moon on the surface, it would actually illuminate Kur, essentially bringing daylight to it. Within the realm of Ereshkigal, the dead would be judged by the sun god Utu, and at times even his father, the moon god Nana. Those judged righteous would go on to live in bliss for eternity. Those judged unfavorably would suffer for an eternity. There you have it, Sumerian civilization explained in 7 minutes. Obviously, a lot went untold here. So to discover more about this fascinating civilization, check out our new book, Sumerians, a captivating guide to ancient Sumerian history, Sumerian mythology, and the Mesopotamian empire of the Sumer civilization. Also, please hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe if you want more videos like this. Lastly, don't forget to pick up your first mythology bundle ebook for free. Just visit the link below and join our exclusive captivating history and mythology list.